Welcome to Redneck Outfitters, where the labor's cheap and the advice is free. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Redneck Outfitters 1. Tonight we got the 24-hour sign going here, and we might need it because it's about a little after 8 o'clock, I believe, and I just got off of a 12-hour shift. But I'm going to try to get the engine at least mounted into this Volkswagen today or tonight. So I got a lot of stuff to do before I do that. I got to take the pan off, get some hoses out of the way, that sort of thing. Got to get the bug jacked up, blocked up where I need it, and then we're going to get to it, I hope. So stay with us. Thanks for joining us. If you like, give us a like. If you want to subscribe. That way you could keep up to date on any videos we're putting out. So I'm going to try to video as much of this as I can. And my neighbors over there is having a pool party, so there's a bunch of screaming going on. I got the garage door closed right now, but I'm going to open that back up because it's 90 degrees in here right now. I ain't putting up with that. So matter of fact, this shirt's probably going to come off. So might have a barf bag handy. But stay with us. We're going to try to get this done.
I cut a couple of pieces of 4x4 tubing to put them over these 4x4s, welded some clevises to them, then used chain falls to help lift the Volkswagen so I don't have to use a jack stands, jack it up, down, up, down, up, down. It just make it a little bit easier, hopefully. I did keep the jack stands underneath there just to, as a safety precaution, in case this thing let loose that I made or the roof of the garage come tumbling down. And I wanted to make sure it wasn't going to fall too far, but I was really hoping nothing came down because I didn't want nothing to scratch that paint. What I'm doing here is I had the engine hanging from an engine hoist with a board underneath it across the legs. It was actually just kind of sitting on there in the garage all covered up. And I'm transferring that over to the jack so I can get it up underneath the back of the Volkswagen. garage was actually a driveway turned into a carport, then turned into a garage years ago before I bought this place. And so the garage floor is actually blacktop. And as you'll see later in the video, it gets quite dirty. And the worst thing is when it gets hot is, especially if you have some weight like this and the jack stands, and the blacktop gets real soft. Matter of fact, one of them dollies I had, it looked like one of the wheels was kind of melting to the blacktop. So I'm having a hard time rolling stuff around a little bit, but hopefully this is about done with the dollies and rolling around and jacking up and moving around. And I'm going to get some wheels and tires on this thing, and hopefully I'm going to have it running where I can just start it up and move it if I need to. So that's the plan anyway. Chainfall idea actually worked pretty good. I could come up with the jack, I could come down with the car. It allowed it to swing a little bit if I needed to go right or left. You know, I was stuffing this meat in there. There wasn't much room, but I finally got her up in there. This is where the main music starts playing in the horror film, because I'm letting this motor down and that extra weight, all of a sudden I hear the rafters creaking in the garage, and I thought, man, I better get this weight off of this damn thing before it does come crashing down. So I immediately started on the chain falls and started bringing it back down to put the back wheels on the dolly, and then used the jack the rest of the way, because once I had it in the holes and got the weight down on it, boy, she made a difference. start to look like their pets and vice versa. Uh, that belly of mine kind of looks like the roof of this Volkswagen. It's just big and round and in the way. But doing this at a 60 years old, basically, just turned 60. With the arthritis issues and the nerve issues from past surgeries or injuries or what have you, it makes it a challenge. But hopefully this is the last big hurdle of. And I know you've heard me say that before in this project, but everything else from now on is going to be pretty much cosmetic, tie things in. So the engine going in was a big moment for me, and once I get this thing all wired up and fired up, I'm really going to be happy. But I'm happy with the way things are going, and like I said, you're struggling to do what you got to do, and that makes it all worth it in the end. I could have paid thousands of dollars and just had somebody do this for me, but that's not my style. I'm going at this alone for a reason, and I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. awful bad. Right here I'm grabbing some tape to try to hold the bolt in. On the back side there's a big long bolt, goes through the starter and goes all the way through the transmission into the engine, and you got to put a nut on this side of it, and if you don't have something to hold it, it's going to shove it back in there. So I put that tape on there just so I could get the nut started on there. I still got to tighten that up. I'll put some vice grips or a wrench or something on one side, and then be able to tighten it up on the other. It's a little hard to hold. I didn't have a D-bolt. There's a thing called a D-bolt. The head is shaped like a D, and it kind of catches to where it doesn't turn, and you're able to tighten that up by yourself. But you know, I've got a 63 chassis and a 68 body, and this motor is a 1600 from like at least a 71, I think, is when they started using those on the here in America. I can't remember, but you know, it's a Frankenstein, so it's a challenge sometimes trying to get things right, get them matched up, and get things working. But like I said, it went real well. So you know, thanks for hanging around with us. Thanks for watching our videos. Thanks for all the likes, the comments, the subscribes, and that sort of stuff. We're not done yet. We're going to keep doing, and you know, pretty soon I'm going to get some good wheels and tires on here. Going to have to get the fenders painted, and the hood and the trunk lid and all of that stuff painted. So of course I still got all the interior to do. So we got plenty to keep us busy for a while. But once again, thanks for joining us at Redneck Outfitters 1. Tune in anytime, and I hope you like what you're seeing. So that's why we do what we do.